Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a lot of planning in my bullet journal for July. But first I want to show you guys my pages from my month of June. So I'm just going to quickly flip through that and then I'll show you guys how I planned out my month of July. So for my month of June, I went with this ocean spread and I'm so excited about how it turned out. I actually painted it first and I kind of showed you guys how I digitized it and then was able to put the calendar on top in my last video. And then on the right side, I did this important date section with the watercolor waves to match it. And then on the next two pages, I just have my Etsy and YouTube tracker, and then I have this summer plan section, which I haven't really gotten to yet, but I'm probably gonna come back and fill it in. For my first week of June, I decided to go with this ochre kind of theme, and I was able to use some of my new daily stickers that I have in my shop, which was really fun, and I just put in some Pinterest photos, and I think this whole page just turned out really good. And this next spread makes me so happy because all of these are notes from some of my favorite artists that I bought from their Etsy shops. I did a whole video this past month unboxing a bunch of items that I got from them, and I just absolutely loved being able to get artwork from all of them, so I kind of wanted to put all of their little thank you notes on this page. So this next spread is one of my favorites I've done in a long time, and I actually filmed doing it for my Instagram page. I think I'm going to start putting little clips of some of my weekly spreads that I do on there. So if you want to see more little mini clips of how I make my weekly spreads like this, definitely go check out my Instagram. But I really enjoyed doing this page. I was really inspired by the new washi tapes I kind of got in my Etsy haul. And I also got to use some of Jordan Clark's stickers, which are super cute, and I think they just go with this theme perfectly. And these are my last two pages of June. I'm actually going to start doing a travel journal this month, and so basically the whole last part of the month was me going to Florida. So I wanted to kind of put that all in a separate journal. But yeah, now we are going to start planning the month of July, so I'm going to just get out all of my painting supplies. I got my paintbrushes out and I have a clean palette for all of my watercolors, and then I'm also going to get out my big box of Winsor & Newton and other watercolor tubes. Right now I'm going to be using my indigo, Payne's gray, and turquoise colors. So these are all from the Cotman series and I absolutely love these colors from their collection. Now I'm just getting a small water bowl that I'm going to put some water in so I can clean off my brushes, and then I'm using the Canson extra large watercolor paper. So first I'm going to kind of sketch out my drawing that I'm gonna kind of base this whole theme off of. I don't know if you guys remember, but I did a past spread where I did a mountain drawing and put some like kind of blue sketching above it, and I kind of wanted to recreate that but in more detail and with watercolor. So I'm just using a pencil to sketch out the mountains first, and I'm kind of trying to get all of the ridges and detail in there beforehand so it's easier when I go in with pen. So the whole top part I'm going to do first, and that is going to be the watercolor portion. And I'm just keeping the watercolor above the mountains, and then I'm going to kind of fade that out and up. And I'm using a lot of my Payne's gray and indigo for this part, and just a tiny bit of turquoise in some spots, but mostly a dark blue will do. I'm also trying to focus a lot of the darker color on the bottom, and then I'm kind of going in with a lot more water on the top to kind of fade it upward. And now I'm going to reach for my bleed-proof white paint. I'll have all of the supplies that I use in this video in the description below for you guys to make it easy, but this is basically my favorite white paint that I use, and I'm using it for all the stars. So I'm just taking a tiny watercolor brush with a lot of paint and a little bit of water on it, and I'm just splatter painting all of these stars onto the painting. And I'm doing this before I go in with the ink on the mountains so that it doesn't splatter paint over my ink drawing that I do. So that's why I'm doing all that part first. Now I'm going to bring out all of my black fine liners, and today I think for the mountains I'm using the Uniball 0.2 fine liner, and I'm going to basically use this pen to kind of go in and stipple all of the shadows and the outlines of my mountains. If you haven't heard of stippling before, basically it's a method of drawing where you make tiny dots instead of lines, and that is going to kind of act like a shadowing effect and an outlining effect for your drawing. It does take a bit more time than the normal method, but I honestly think it looks so good, and it's a way to get that shadowing effect without being too harsh with a black pen. So I actually learned this method in my art class in high school, I believe, and I just kind of fell in love with it and totally forgot about it until I was thinking of a theme for this month's calendar. When I'm drawing mountains, I usually use lines for my shadows, like straight lines. So this month I wanted to kind of change it up and try something a little different. It's a super relaxing method of drawing as well, so if you're ever wanting to do some Zen drawing, definitely try stippling. And this is how my little mountain scene turned out. I think it looks so cute with all of these stars and my watercolor night sky, and I loved that I was able to take a past drawing that I did and kind of turn it into something a little bit different, something I love even more. So now I'm going to scan my artwork, and I know you guys are interested in seeing this, so I'm just pulling up my printer scanner combo, and I'm scanning this on 600 DPI, and I actually just select the area that I want to be scanned, and I make sure it's in color, and I just send that to my desktop. This is the scanner that I use to scan all of my paintings to put up in my shop. It's not the most amazing fancy scanner you could use, but I end up going in afterward and bringing back a lot of the color that gets lost in the scan by editing it afterwards, so that's what works for me. If you don't want to do that, then I would definitely suggest getting a higher end scanner, but to be honest, I've gotten it down where I just edit the photo on my iPad afterwards, so I'm just sending that over to my iPad on AirDrop, and I'm going to use the normal photo editor that Apple comes with. I just usually put the original painting kind of near me so I can reference the coloring and all of that, and then I kind of try to get it pretty close to the same coloring as that one. Now I just put my painting into Procreate once I've got it all edited to the color that I liked, and I'm adding in the calendar and the lettering for July. And I think I'm going to do this from now on for my calendars because I do like to keep the original artwork without the calendar on it, so this is kind of a good way to allow me to do that. Alright, so now I sent my Procreate file to my computer, and I'm just going to put that in Word so I can easily print it out. I'm just sizing it to kind of the size of the Leuchtturm pages. I usually do like 5.2 by 7.75, and that usually works perfectly for me to cut it out and everything. And now for my favorite part, printing out my calendar prints for the first time. And this is what the calendar looks like after I printed it and cut it all out. I'm so excited to put this one in my journal. July is actually my birthday month, so I knew I wanted to do something that I would love to paint for this month. So in my original drawing of this, I actually added some gold kind of sunbeams in the back of the mountains. So I kind of wanted to test that out on this calendar, and I actually really like it. So I think I'll have that as an option in my shop if you guys kind of like this in the background, but I'll definitely have the blank version as well. But I decided to put this one on my wall so it would kind of catch the light in my room. In my last drawing, I actually also did a quote on the drawing that I really liked that kind of went with the whole theme. So I definitely wanted to make a print with that quote again. And so I'll have all three of these versions in my shop, and the calendar print will be for any month you guys want. So that will be there by the time this video goes up. So on the right side of my page, I'm going to do a important date section, and last time I did that waves kind of watercolor painting like I showed you guys last time, and this time I'm going to do kind of a similar thing, but this time I'm gonna add some stars and make it kind of more of the theme of this month's spread. So I'm just gonna use those same colors that I did on my painting, and then I'm gonna go in with the same method and do all of the splatter painted stars. So now that I'm done with splatter painting all my stars on there, I'm going to go in and send it to Procreate kind of like I did last time and add in a little bit of more stars just with my Apple Pencil. And then I'm also adding in the kind of lettering for the important date section as well as all of the dates. So now I've printed it out, and I'm going to take my Tombow adhesive and paste that onto the right side. And I don't know if you guys can see, but I actually added the dots like the Leuchtturm has to this page. That way I could have kind of a line reference as I was doing my important date section. Alright, and this is the final spread for July. I'm so happy with how it turned out, and I just love the theme that I was able to do this month. I've been wanting to go back to this drawing and try it again in more detail ever since I did it, so I'm super excited that I was finally able to put it into calendar form for my journal. So now I'm going to do my Etsy and YouTube tracker. I've been super motivated this month to put out new stickers and new designs. I ended up making a new logo this month, as well as a bunch of new designs for stickers that I'm actually putting up the day this video goes up. So I just want to kind of keep that motivation going and have an ideas section where I can just jot everything down. Alright, so this next spread is going to be my first spread of July, and on the top here I'm just doing kind of like a little DIY washi tape design, I guess you could call it. I pretty much lost all my washi tape for this video, so I don't really have much to work with, so I kind of wanted to do my own little thing. And then I am just putting in some Pinterest photos and some paper that I could find, and I'm just pasting that in. The other day I got this new little stamp set from Michaels, and it has a bunch of letters that kind of look like typewriter letters, so I wanted to try it out on this spread. And it actually works a lot better than I thought it was going to, and I think it looks really good. The only problem is that I'm totally going to, at some point, lose all of these little pieces, but I'm going to try my best to keep them all together. For this theme, I decided to use this kind of teal color with this yellowish tan color, and I actually think it turned out really good. You wouldn't really think these two colors would go together, but I actually really like them together. And these are my new stickers that I'm going to be adding today to my Etsy shop by the time this video goes up. So I am just going to basically use this whole sheet to decorate the rest of my page. Alright, now that I'm done putting all my stickers on, this is how my final spread turned out. I love the color scheme that I got out of it, and I love using my new stickers for the first time, and I'm glad I got to share this with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though this one is probably going to get up a little bit later than I'd like to, but this month I'm going to come out with a ton of new videos for you guys, so if you want to come and hang out and do some art with me this month, then make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.